Be in front of you today to say something, to share this with all of you. I would have never guessed when I started with the department 10 years ago that I would have the privilege of speaking at a Corrections Academy graduation. Let me first offer my congratulations to the graduates. Today is a great day. We celebrate our new IDOC correctional officers. This is a great accomplishment and a step forward in your career with the Idaho Department of Corrections. You are the future leaders of IDOC and have the opportunity to make positive impacts to those you work with and to those in our custody. Everyone has their reasons for wanting to work in corrections. For me, it was my dream job. I started my journey as an 18-year-old entering college and majoring in criminal justice. I quickly changed to social work as I wanted to help people, not punish them. Theories and standards in practice in corrections have changed since this time. I worked in the private sector doing community mental health for around 15 years and then came to a point in my life where I knew I needed benefits. So I started to look for a state job. When I found a listing for a PSR worker, now known as a correctional case manager, I knew I had to apply, as finally I would get to do what I love, which is helping people, and working in a prison brought me back to my first goal of working in corrections. I got the call for an interview and was extremely excited. I went to the interview, and when I was waiting in the lobby of the administration building at NICI, I watched two residents run out the gate, and there was a lot of commotion. Needless to say, I didn't get an interview that day, but I knew I needed to work there because as much as I like to help people, I also like a sense of adventure. Eventually, I did interview, and I got the position. I was excited to work with residents each day with something new and different, and I didn't have to look at a clock waiting for the time to go home. I loved what I was doing and I loved my job. But what I didn't know at the time was the importance of work-life balance. My time away from work was filled with thoughts about work. Those in my personal life didn't understand my love for my work, and I didn't have many interactions with those I worked with. I was there to do my job and change the world, and most of the time thought I could do the job better than anyone else I worked with. Then came the disappointments. Not being given the opportunities I thought I deserved, and of course I never sat down with my supervisor to discuss a professional development plan because he should have known the great things I was capable of. I didn't have a good support system outside of work or at work, and negative thoughts began to multiply. I focused on all the negatives, like I didn't get the promotion that I thought I deserved, I didn't get to go to the trainings that I thought I deserved. Things weren't going my way like I thought they should. I was becoming the toxic person at work that wasn't much fun to be around. I knew something had to change, and I left the department and took a job with another state. Within months of leaving IDOC, I had a life event that would forever change my world. My 18-year-old daughter was killed in an auto accident. I received the news on a Sunday evening, and early that next morning, Warden Krieger and Deputy Warden Lutz were at my door. There they stood, unafraid of facing a grieving mother, to offer the condolences. I don't remember many words that were said that day, but I do remember they asked the question, "How can we help?" And without thought, my response was, "Give me my job back." Deputy Warden Lutz responded with, "We have openings, and I will get to work on this." And within a month, Warden Krieger reinstated my position. This wasn't the only visits I had from the people of NICI. I had people who would call and check in on me. They would sit with me, they watched me cry, and they provided the support I needed to move forward. I went back to work at NICI with a changed perspective. I could see all the positives of what we get to do each day and the great people I get to work with. I knew I never wanted to be on that negative path again because working in corrections was and is my dream job. I created that work-life balance. I went to counseling to work on myself. I spent my time outside finding the things that filled my cup. I worked to develop relationships with the people I worked with. The lessons I learned: when I show up with negative thoughts, corrections provides the environment where I can find negative all day long, which reaffirms the negative thoughts I'm having. My interactions with other staff and residents will likely have negative impacts, which doesn't align with my goal of helping others. When I show up with a positive mindset, I find positive throughout my day, and I'm able to change my have-tos to I get to. We in corrections get to lay the groundwork, helping residents look at life in a way they never thought possible before. We get to believe that people are more than their crime or their negative behaviors. We get to see that corrections isn't just about punishment, it is about restoring the good that lies in the people in our custody. When we engage in restorative approaches, we get to have positive impacts. We get to work for an agency that cares about us and invests in us. We get to work alongside amazing people who know how to do the hard things. If you want to advance in your career and you put the work in, you will advance. I did just that. I identified the things in my life that I needed to change, and I found my people. My people are those who aren't afraid to tell me when I need to reel it back in. They give me feedback that isn't easy to hear or easy to give, and they support me on my journey. Find your people, as none of us can do this job alone.